now that you know all the fundamental strokes, you are ready to learn the alphabet. So I'm going to show you the minuscule alphabet, which is lowercase letters, one at a time, starting with A. So the letter A has 3 strokes. An entrance stroke, let me try that again. An entrance stroke, an oval, and an underturn. So entrance, oval, underturn. Now we're going to put these together and the strokes are going to connect. So the very first thing that I'm going to say is an entrance stroke starts at the baseline and goes up to the header line unless it is going into an oval. So if I were to go all the way up to the header line and then start my oval, keeping in mind that I need to move to the right a little bit because I come out to the left here. So I'm going to start my oval here at the header line. So you can see here the entrance stroke intersects with this oval right here. And that's about halfway, a little more than halfway up, maybe a third from the top. So we don't need this extra little part. So when you make an entrance stroke that goes into an oval, you can stop a little more than halfway up. So entrance stroke, oval, and underturn. Now, where am I going to start this underturn? I want it to intersect the oval on the right side, but not overlap. So, keeping in mind that everything is slanted, I'm going to kind of like make an imaginary line up from the right side of this oval, following the slant, then shift over a tiny bit because I know that when I make a shade, my tine opens to the left. And then I'll make my underturn. So from the right side, go up, over, down. And that's an A. So halfway up, oval, underturn. Alright, now I'm going to show you B. A B also starts with an entrance stroke. And then it has the ascending stem loop. And then I'm going to start going into an underturn. So full pressure, and then once I get to the baseline, I want to come back to a point because I'm going to come back up. So this is all one stroke, but you can think of it as being this part of the ascending stem loop, and then once you get here, switch to an underturn. So ascending and then underturn. Then after that, you're going to make this shape, which I've heard it called different things, a comma dot or an eyelid. And that is basically I'll draw it first. So it's basically the bottom part of an underturn or an oval. So if you were to extend this into an oval, it would just be the bottom section of the oval. You can also think of it as if it was an underturn. bottom section of the underturn. So when we put it all together, we have an entrance stroke. And notice how I'm lifting my pen after every stroke. So right here, I made the entrance stroke go all the way up to the header line. But you can see here that I intersected the shade about halfway down the X height. And I'm going to try this B again. So I don't want to do that. I want you to see the entire entrance stroke. So that means I need to shift this section of the letter to the right a little bit. So I'm going to move over just a little bit to start my ascending stem loop. So I'm going to start it here. Come up and around, and then I want my left tine right here to meet with the entrance stroke at the header line. Entrance, ascending stem loop, start a gradual shade, meet at the header line, come down to a point, come back up, and do a comma dot. So this shade is pretty tough. You have to swell in the middle and then come back to a point by the time you reach the bottom. Next is C. So what did we learn from the A? We learned that the entrance stroke, you can stop a little more than halfway up when you're going into an oval. So the letter C is not a complete oval, but you can picture it being starting at the top, making the oval shade, and then rather than coming back around and meeting at the top, you just continue straight up, similar to the path of an underturn. So I haven't been doing a great job of baseline, header line. This is the X height. So for the C, we're going to start at the baseline and draw a entrance stroke that's connecting to an oval, so we're going to stop. Then, like I said, for the C, we're going to start as if we're making an oval, so come down and around, but rather than coming back this way, we're just going to go straight up to the header line. Then we're going to come around here and make a little dot. And I just realized I did not write this the same way as the others, so I'm going to do that again. Entrance. Half of an oval and then exit stroke. And then you'll come around and make the dot. Entrance, and then kind of imaginary follow the line up, so you'll see that I made this, and then I lifted and then continued following that path, and then you move over just a little bit to the right. Again, entrance stroke, follow the path. Alright, that's a C. D is almost the same as A, So we start with an entrance stroke. Because we're going to an oval, we don't go all the way up. And then the D has an underturn, except the underturn starts at the first ascender. So if you go up one space, then you'll make a thick shade on the way down and turn under. So that will look like this. So how do I know where to start? Well, like I said, make an imaginary line that's parallel to the slant. Then we're going to move over just a little bit and place our pen right at that point. Then open the tines, go down following the slant. Okay, now I left a little gap because I drew that dotted line in there, but I'll show you that again. So entrance, oval, imaginary line, go to the right, and then follow the 55-degree slant and underturn. This is the speed that I would normally write these letters. I'm not writing them slowly just because I'm showing you how to write them. There's no need to rush. And if you want consistency, then it's better to go slow. Okay, let's go down baseline and header line. So E, you can probably guess what the E starts as. It's almost the same as the C. It's almost exactly the same, except we will bring this piece around instead of making the dot. So, entrance, half of an oval, and then exit, and then bring the top around. You can, if you want, start here and loop around. But because the way that you start the C is half entrance and then starting from the top, same with the A, half an entrance stroke and then starting from the top, it's easier to be consistent if you do that the same way with the E. So entrance, start at the top and go up and then come around. Okay, F. We start with an entrance stroke from the baseline up to the header line. Then we're going to make another ascending stem loop. But we're going to continue down one space below. So here we have base, header, first ascender, second ascender, and the first descender. So this is a big stroke. We're going up 2 whole spaces, then we're going to pass the baseline and go all the way down to the first descender. And then there's different variations for how to exit the F. The most simple is just another exit stroke or entrance stroke. And again, I messed this up. So we'll do entrance, stem loop, and continue past the baseline. And again, I don't start applying pressure until I get about third half of the way down from here to here. Now this shade wasn't exactly parallel to 55 degrees, it's a little too upright. And you can make this your own. You can add, sometimes I go like this. Or you can even start down here and go up and around. So these are all the basics, and then once you learn the basics, you can create your own style.